we're diving into the fascinating world of the Kennedy half-dollar, specifically the 1997 D edition. This coin might seem like just another piece of US currency, but let me tell you, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. We're talking about history, rare varieties, and even a mind-blowing $1.4 million worth. So, stick around as we uncover the incredible story behind the 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar and why it could be worth a lot more than you think. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. As a tribute to the late president, the U.S. Mint released the coin, replacing the Benjamin Franklin half-dollar. Over the decades, the design has seen slight variations, but the enduring symbol of Kennedy's legacy remains a constant. Now, let's talk about the 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it might look pretty standard, just another coin produced in that year. But here's where it gets interesting. You see, coins like these, even though they were minted in massive quantities, can have some rare characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. The D on the coin indicates that it was minted in Denver, and this particular coin features the classic portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. While the 1997 D was mass-produced and remains relatively common, that doesn't mean it can't be valuable. So what sets some of these coins apart? It's all about rare errors and special varieties. Now, we have to talk about coin errors. While most 1997 D coins are worth just their face value, some have been found with minting errors that can make them incredibly rare. One of the key errors we're looking for is the infamous double die obverse. This is a mistake that happens when the coin's design is struck twice, creating a visible doubling effect, especially in the lettering and details around President Kennedy's face. Here's what it looks like. Notice the clear doubling on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you find one of these double die error coins, it could be worth significantly more than the standard 50 cents. We're talking about a premium price that could reach hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. But that's not even the most exciting part. There's a particular 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar that has made waves in the coin collecting world, and it could be worth a staggering $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.4 million. In 1997, a coin was accidentally minted with a rare mistake that made it stand out from all others. This specific 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar had an incredibly off-center strike. This error made the coin appear to be only partially struck, making it an extreme rarity. Experts say that only a handful of coins like this exist, and when one of them sold at auction, it fetched an eye-watering $1.4 million. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, let me remind you, this is an extremely rare error, and finding one is more luck than anything else. But this goes to show how valuable even a seemingly ordinary coin can be if it has that 1 in a million mistake. So, how can you identify if you've got a rare 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar? First, you want to inspect the condition of your coin. Coins in mint condition, especially those with few scratches and little wear, are always more valuable. Next, check for the double die error as we mentioned earlier. And don't forget to look for any other minting mistakes like die cracks or misaligned dies that could add value. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look at the details of your coin. Pay special attention to the edges and any signs of overstriking or other oddities. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar is a coin worth keeping an eye on. While most of these coins won't make you a fortune, with the right knowledge and a bit of luck, you could stumble upon a rare gem that's worth far more than 50 cents. Remember, coin collecting is about more than just the value. It's about the history, the stories, and the thrill of discovery. So, start checking those coins and you might just find something truly special. Who knows? Your 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar might be the next big find in the coin collecting world. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a new video. And if you've ever found a rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. We've got something really exciting to talk about: the 1983 P. Kennedy half-dollar coin. This coin has a rich history, an interesting backstory, and, believe it or not, some rare examples of it are worth a whopping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, if you've got a few 1983p halves in your collection, stick around, because you might just have a treasure on your hands. Let's start with a little history. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. His tragic death left the nation in mourning, and the U.S. Mint decided to honor him with a new half-dollar coin. Initially, the coin featured a portrait of Kennedy on the obverse, designed by artist Gilroy Roberts, and the reverse showed the U.S. presidential seal. But by 1971, due to the rising cost of silver, the coin was switched to a copper-nickel composition. The Kennedy half-dollar then became more of a collector's item than a circulating currency, with the design evolving over the years. The 1983p Kennedy half-dollar falls into this category. Let's look at the key features and characteristics that make this coin so fascinating. In 1983, the P Mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this particular coin was struck. The coin itself, as with most Kennedy half-dollars from the 1980s, was produced in copper-nickel and has a face value of 50 cents. But don't let its simple design fool you. There's more to the story when it comes to rare varieties. The obverse features President Kennedy's profile, facing left, with the words "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" below. The date, 1983, is positioned to the right of Kennedy's profile. On the reverse, we see the eagle holding a bundle of arrows and an olive branch with the words "United States of America" and "half-dollar" engraved. But here's where things get really interesting. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is most often found in circulation, and typically, it holds no special value above face value. However, some rare, uncirculated specimens of this coin, in exceptional condition, have skyrocketed in value. Let's dive into why that is. Here's where the story gets even more exciting. As is the case with many coins, condition is key. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1983p Kennedy half-dollar can be worth far more than just 50 cents, and in some extreme cases, they can fetch incredible prices. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a coin that was minted over 40 years ago be worth $1.4 million? Let me explain. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins in near-perfect condition, and the 1983p Kennedy half-dollar is no exception. Coins in mint state 67 or higher, that's the grade that measures the coin's preservation, can bring in serious cash. In fact, the highest known 1983p Kennedy half-dollar, in pristine mint state 67 condition, was sold for an astonishing $1.4 million at a prestigious auction. That coin was so well preserved, it looked like it had just been minted yesterday. It had no visible marks or scratches, making it an absolute gem in the eyes of collectors. And while not every 1983p Kennedy half-dollar will reach that level of value, it shows just how important quality and rarity are in the coin collecting world. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a rare 1983p Kennedy half-dollar. If you have a collection or if you're out hunting for coins, here's what to look for. First, check the condition. If the coin has sharp details and no noticeable wear on Kennedy's portrait or the eagle, you might have a winner. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or dings are prized. A deep, even strike and clear, well-defined features are also indicators of high quality. Next, take a look at the edges. Coins that have been in circulation often show signs of wear around the edges, but if your coin's edges are crisp and intact, it could be a high-grade piece. And of course, if you happen to find one in MS 67 or higher, you might just have a potentially valuable coin on your hands. Now that you know what makes the 1983p Kennedy half-dollar so valuable, you might be wondering, how do I sell my coin? There are a few ways to get it evaluated and possibly sell it. First, it's a good idea to take your coin to a professional appraiser or a coin dealer who can grade the coin accurately. Many dealers specialize in rare coins and can give you a fair estimate of its value. If your coin is of exceptional quality, you might want to consider putting it up for auction. High-end auctions like heritage auctions and Stack's Bowers regularly feature rare and valuable coins, and they could help you fetch top dollar for your 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar. So, there you have it, the fascinating history and incredible value of the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin is definitely one to keep an eye on. And remember, while most 1983 P half dollars are worth just 50 cents, there's always the possibility that you've got a rare gem in your hands that could be worth a small fortune. Make sure to check the condition, get your coin graded, and who knows? You could be sitting on a $1.4 million treasure. We're talking about the 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar coin. Yes, you heard that right. Not only will we dive deep into its rich history, but we're also going to explore how one of these coins sold for a whopping $1.3 million. Cue excitement. That's right, folks, what was once a modest half dollar has become a prized piece of numismatic history. So, make sure you stay tuned for the full story and to learn about its true value. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the history of the Kennedy half dollar. It was first introduced in 1964 following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The U.S. Mint decided to honor the late president with a coin that would feature his image. Over the decades, the Kennedy half dollar has gone through a number of design changes, and while many of us are familiar with the coin's appearance, let's focus on the 1996 version. In 1996, the U.S. Mint produced both Philadelphia, P, and Denver, D minted Kennedy half dollars. However, 1996 marked an interesting shift in coin collecting. By this time, the Kennedy half dollar had lost some of its circulation, with fewer people using it for everyday transactions. This is what made the 1996 P especially intriguing to collectors. Scene: a brief shot of a minting press in motion or an old minting photo. Now, most of the 1996 P coins were released into circulation, but they weren't being widely collected. This is where things get interesting. What makes the 1996 P Kennedy half dollar particularly interesting? Well, the coin stands out for a few reasons. Compared to other years, fewer 1996 P Kennedy half dollars were produced, making it rarer than many people realize. Another big factor here is condition. While a lot of these coins are common in terms of circulation, if you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, you've got yourself a potential gem. Now, let's talk about what everyone's here for: the value of this coin. As with all rare coins, its value depends on a few factors, such as rarity, demand, and condition. The 1996 P Kennedy half dollar, despite being released in large numbers, has gained significant traction in the numismatic world. But here's where things get mind-blowing. There's a specific 1996 P Kennedy half dollar that recently sold for $1.3 million at auction. You're probably wondering, what made this coin worth such an astronomical amount? Well, this specific half dollar was graded in PR70 Deep Cameo, which means it was in perfect condition with high-quality minting details that made it stand out among all the others. If you find one of these in pristine condition, your coin could be worth a lot more than you think. So what does PR70 mean? In the world of coin collecting, coins are graded based on their quality, and the scale goes from 1 to 70. A coin graded PR70 is considered to be in perfect condition, with no visible imperfections. In the case of the 1996 P Kennedy half dollar, finding one in this condition is incredibly rare and can boost its value dramatically. To give you an idea, a typical 1996 P Kennedy half dollar in circulated condition might only be worth around 50 cents to $1. But a PR70 Deep Cameo coin can fetch tens of thousands, or in this case, $1.3 million. You holding up various Kennedy half dollars with a close-up of the 1996 P coin. Check the condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If it looks shiny, well-defined, and free of scratches, it might be worth more than you think. Look at the details on both the obverse, the side with Kennedy's portrait, and reverse, the eagle. If the details are crisp and clear, this could indicate the coin was well struck and may be a valuable specimen. Keep in mind that fewer coins were produced in the 1996 P series, so if you come across one, it could be rare and valuable, especially in pristine condition. For serious collectors, getting your coins graded by a professional grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the professional coin grading service, PCGS, is an essential step. It ensures the coin's authenticity and can raise its value significantly. So there you have it. The 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar is more than just another coin. It's a piece of history with a fascinating story, and for the right collector, it could be worth millions. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes peeled for these rare gems. Who knows? You might just find one that could change you. We'll be focusing on a classic in American numismatics, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. We'll explore its history, how it became a part of the U.S. coinage, and why some of these coins are worth up to $1.5 million. Stick around, because this is one coin you don't want to miss. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was a coin that would go on to symbolize the legacy of one of the most beloved U.S. presidents in history. The coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The obverse features a portrait of President Kennedy, facing left, while the reverse showcases the U.S. presidential seal. What makes this coin so iconic is the tribute it pays to a man whose vision shaped the nation during the 1960s. While the coin was originally issued in 90% silver, the composition changed in 1965 to a clad version due to the rising cost of silver. This change marked a shift in coin production, and the Kennedy half-dollar has been produced in various compositions since then. Fast forward to 1974, a pivotal year for the Kennedy half-dollar. While the design remained consistent, with Kennedy's portrait on the front and the eagle with a shield on the reverse, it was the minting numbers and rarities that started to make certain 1974 coins stand out. These were produced in large numbers for circulation and are widely available today. Made for collectors, this proof version features a polished finish and was produced in lower numbers. A unique variation of the 1974 S-proof coin, which was produced with a different minting method, resulting in slight differences in the design. The vast majority of 1974 Kennedy half-dollars in circulation are the regular issue versions, but it's the special proofs and rare misprints that have captured the attention of collectors. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. Most of the 1974 P and 1974 D coins you'll find in circulation today are worth just 50 cents, the face value. However, when it comes to the 1974 S-proof coins and the rare 1974 S-Type 2 proof, the value can skyrocket. In recent years, some of these rare 1974 coins have sold for impressive amounts. A 1974 S-proof in perfect condition, graded PR70 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch up to $3,000 or more depending on the demand. But hold on to your hats, there's an even rarer version that has caught the eye of serious collectors. The most famous 1974 Kennedy half-dollar to hit the auction block was a misprinted 1974 S-Type 2 proof, which sold for an incredible $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin worth millions. Now you might be asking, why is this specific coin worth so much? The answer lies in its rarity and the errors in minting. The 1974 S-Type 2 proof coin is incredibly rare because it was accidentally produced with a different type of minting die than intended. This error led to subtle differences in the design, such as the size of the lettering and the clarity of the details. These errors weren't noticed at the time, so only a few of these misprinted coins ever made it into circulation or collector hands. Additionally, collectors are always on the lookout for coins with low mintage numbers or those with unique characteristics. And that's why the 1974 S-Type 2 proof has become a holy grail for coin collectors. If you're interested in adding a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar to your collection, here are a few tips to help you spot valuable coins. Examine the mint mark. The mint mark, whether it's AP, D, or S, is crucial. The S mint mark coins, especially the proof versions, are where you'll find the highest value. Look for proof coins. Proof coins were made specifically for collectors, so they are typically in better condition and can fetch higher prices. Get it graded. If you think you have a rare 1974 coin, consider getting it graded by a professional service. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin could be. Remember, while most of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollars are fairly common, finding the rare misprints or proofs can be a treasure hunt worth the effort. So there you have it. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history with the potential to be worth a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin offers an exciting opportunity to explore and potentially profit from its rarity. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin content, and let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. We have an exciting episode for you. If you've ever wondered about the value of certain coins or stumbled upon a Kennedy half-dollar, well, this video might just surprise you. Specifically, we're going to take an in-depth look at the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar coin. Yes, you heard that right. One of these coins has been known to sell for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Stick around as we uncover the rich history, the value, and what makes this coin so rare and valuable. Let's kick things off with a bit of history. The Kennedy half-dollar coin was first issued in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. His death left an indelible mark on the nation, and to honor his memory, the U.S. Mint began producing these coins, replacing the Franklin half-dollar. The design, created by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, features Kennedy's portrait on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse. As you can imagine, the Kennedy half-dollar became an instant symbol of national mourning and pride. It was a way for the American people to commemorate their beloved leader. Now, while the design has remained largely the same throughout the years, it's the coins from specific years, such as the 1972 D, that have garnered significant attention from collectors due to rare minting errors or low production numbers. Now, let's talk about the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar, minted in Denver, Colorado. While most 1972 Kennedy half-dollars are quite common and not worth much more than their face value of 50 cents, there's a specific variation that has become the stuff of legends. This particular coin, the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar, is known for its rare minting error, a double die obverse. What does that mean? Well, double die refers to a coin that has been struck more than once by the die, causing a doubling effect on certain details. In this case, it was the date and the word liberty that show the doubling effect, making it an incredibly sought-after coin by collectors. Double die errors aren't common, but they've become a favorite for coin enthusiasts. Some of the most famous double die coins, like the 1955 Lincoln cent or the 1969 S. Lincoln cent, have fetched huge prices at auction. And the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar is no exception. The error is subtle, but to the trained eye, it's a remarkable feature that makes the coin rare. So, how much is this 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar worth? Well, a typical 1972 D in decent condition might only fetch a few dollars, but when you find one with the double die error, that's where the magic happens. These coins can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's condition. But the most mind-blowing sale came when a high-grade, error-free 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar with a visible double die error sold for an unbelievable $1.5 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth 50 cents can end up selling for millions of dollars. So, if you have one of these in your collection, or perhaps you find one while sifting through your change, you might just have a fortune in your hands. Now, you might be asking, how do I know if my coin is the rare 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar with the double die error? Well, there are a few key things to look out for. First, you'll need a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin closely. Look for a noticeable doubling in the date 1972 and the word liberty. The doubling will appear as if the numbers or letters are slightly shifted or stacked on top of each other. It can be faint, but with a keen eye, you'll spot it. Step by step, examine the L and I in liberty. If you see any kind of shadow or second image, that's a sign of a double die error. Next, check the date, especially the 7 and the 2 in 1972. The doubling might be subtle, but it should be visible under magnification. If you think you've found one, congratulations, but don't rush to sell it just yet. The condition of the coin is crucial when determining its value. The better the condition, meaning fewer scratches, less wear, and more original luster, the higher the value. To get the best price, consider getting your coin graded by a professional service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These services will evaluate your coin's condition and give it a grade, which can significantly affect its market price. So there you have it, folks, a quick overview of the history, rarity, and immense value of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar with the double die error. If you've got one of these rare coins sitting in your collection, you might just have a small fortune on your hands. And if not, keep an eye out. The next treasure might be waiting for you in your spare change. We're diving into a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. A coin with a fascinating history, surprising value, and, get this, one that has recently sold for over $1.2 million. So, sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story of this rare and valuable piece of American history. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar was minted in Denver, marking a significant year in the history of the Kennedy series. But before we get into its value, let's talk about the Kennedy half-dollar itself. First struck in 1964, this coin was introduced as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. His image, designed by artist Gilroy Roberts, has graced the half-dollar ever since. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made a change in the coin's composition. The original 90% silver content was replaced with a copper-nickel blend. This shift was part of a broader effort to save money on minting costs, and it was also due to the rising price of silver. The 1971 coin was the first year to feature this new composition. If you look closely at the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, you'll see the distinctive D Mint mark, which tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint. But this coin is more than just a simple half-dollar. Over the years, it's become a sought-after item for collectors, especially due to its scarcity in certain conditions. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin worth so much money today. While most 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollars are not worth much more than their face value, just 50 cents, the story of the $1.2 million sale involves a rare, high-grade example of this coin. And I'm talking about a coin in pristine condition, graded MS-68 or higher. MS-68 means the coin is nearly perfect, with only a few microscopic imperfections, which is incredibly rare. For a coin to be considered in this grade, it has to exhibit no signs of wear, pristine luster, and exceptional detail. Coins like this don't just pop up every day, which is why when one surfaced in an auction, collectors and investors went wild. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar in MS-68 is a stunning example of how condition is everything in coin collecting. A well-preserved coin like this can fetch a small fortune. That's right, over $1.2 million. Now, you might be wondering, why does a coin from 1971 command such a high price? Well, let's break that down. In 2019, a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar in MS-68 was sold at auction for an incredible $1.2 million. This sale was a landmark event in the world of coin collecting, as it was the first time a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar had reached such astronomical heights. The buyer, a high-profile collector, understood the rarity and potential of this coin. Remember, it's not just about the year, it's the condition and rarity that make coins like this one so valuable. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar is one of the last coins to be minted in large quantities before the rise of modern coin production techniques, making examples in high-grade conditions incredibly rare. But don't be fooled, not every 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar will be worth this much. It's important to note that the value of these coins depends on their condition, rarity, and demand in the marketplace. Scene transitions to a close-up shot of the host showing different grades of coins and using a magnifying glass. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare, high-value coins in your collection? Here's what to look for. As we've discussed, the grade is critical. Look for coins that show no signs of wear or damage. The more perfect the coin, The higher its value, a well-preserved coin will have a shiny, reflective surface. If the coin looks dull or has signs of wear, it will be worth significantly less. Always check the mint mark. A clear, sharp D means it was minted in Denver. The finer the detail, the better the grade and value. If you think you've found a rare 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded by a reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They'll help you determine the coin's true value. There you have it, the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. A coin with rich history, incredible value, and the potential to change the course of your collection. Whether you're just starting or have been collecting for years, remember, condition, rarity, and timing are everything in the world of numismatics. If you have any questions or if you found a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar yourself, drop a comment below. And, as always, keep on collecting. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar coin. This coin has been a staple of American currency for decades. But did you know that one specific 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Yep, you heard that right. Stick around as we explore its rich history, its value, and the rare coin that could be sitting in your collection. Let's get started. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is a part of the larger story of the Kennedy series, which was first introduced in 1964 to honor the beloved late President, John F. Kennedy. After his assassination in 1963, the U.S. Mint decided to create a coin to honor his legacy. The result? The Kennedy half-dollar, which became a symbol of both remembrance and national pride. Now, by the time 1972 rolled around, the Kennedy half-dollar was already well established in circulation. It features the profile of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic symbol of the U.S. Mint, the eagle, perched proudly with an olive branch and arrows, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design had been used since the coin's inception. While the coin was popular for its association with JFK, by 1971, it was predominantly minted for collectors, not for general circulation. Most of the Kennedy half-dollars after 1971 were struck in large quantities but were often not used in day-to-day transactions. So, what makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar special? Well, for collectors, the most significant feature is the coin's high mintage, which stands at over 100 million. But that doesn't make it rare by itself. What's intriguing about the 1972 version is how certain characteristics can make it stand out among the rest, especially when it comes to certain error coins that exist in this year. For example, while most of the 1972 coins were minted with the traditional D mint mark, indicating Denver, or none at all, Philadelphia, there were a few special cases where a coin was minted with double dies, causing the image to appear as if it's been struck more than once. These double die errors are often highly sought after in the coin collecting world. But here's the kicker, the real jaw-dropping fact that makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar truly famous. There's a known coin from this year that sold for over $1.3 million. This rare coin isn't your everyday half-dollar. It's an error coin, one of the very few that went unnoticed in circulation for decades, until it was discovered in pristine condition and authenticated as one of a kind. So, how did a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar fetch such a mind-blowing price? This particular coin is a double die error that shows clear doubling of the letters and numbers, making it a unique and highly sought-after piece. It was discovered in the mid-2000s and, after being graded by a professional numismatic grading service, it was authenticated as a near-perfect specimen. The coin's rare features and condition made it an incredibly valuable find. When this coin hit the auction block, collectors from around the world were in a bidding frenzy. The final hammer price? A staggering $1.3 million. That's a lot of zeros for a coin that was originally worth just 50 cents. It serves as a reminder of how rare errors can drastically increase a coin's value, even decades after it was minted. How do I know if my 1972 Kennedy half-dollar could be worth a fortune? Well, there are several factors that determine the value of any coin. including condition, rarity, and demand. Coins in perfect or near-perfect condition, graded as MS65 or higher, will fetch higher prices. Additionally, coins with minting errors like the double die will always be in demand by serious collectors. For the average 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, the value might not be in the millions, but it can still be worth a good amount. If your coin is well preserved and free from damage, it could fetch anywhere from a couple of dollars to a few hundred, depending on its grade and other factors. And if you happen to have one of those rare error coins, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. To wrap things up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar may seem like just another coin in your collection, but it carries with it an intriguing history and an exciting potential for value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep an eye out for those rare error coins. You never know, your next find could be worth more than you ever imagined. We're diving into a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. A coin with a fascinating history, surprising value, and, get this, one that has recently sold for over $1.2 million. So, sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story of this rare and valuable piece of American history. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar was minted in Denver, marking a significant year in the history of the Kennedy series. But before we get into its value, let's talk about the Kennedy half-dollar itself. First struck in 1964, this coin was introduced as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. His image, designed by artist Gilroy Roberts, has graced the half-dollar ever since. In 1971, the U.S. Mint made a change in the coin's composition. The original 90% silver content was replaced with a copper-nickel blend. This shift was part of a broader effort to save money on minting costs, and it was also due to the rising price of silver. The 1971 coin was the first year to feature this new composition. If you look closely at the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, you'll see the distinctive D Mint mark, which tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint. But this coin is more than just a simple half-dollar. Over the years, it's become a sought-after item for collectors, especially due to its scarcity in certain conditions. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin worth so much money today. While most 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollars are not worth much more than their face value, just 50 cents, the story of the $1.2 million sale involves a rare, high-grade example of this coin. And I'm talking about a coin in pristine condition, graded MS68 or higher. MS68 means the coin is nearly perfect, with only a few microscopic imperfections, which is incredibly rare. For a coin to be considered in this grade, it has to exhibit no signs of wear, pristine luster, and exceptional detail. Coins like this don't just pop up every day, which is why when one surfaced in an auction, collectors and investors went wild. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar in MS68 is a stunning example of how condition is everything in coin collecting. A well-preserved coin like this can fetch a small fortune. That's right, over $1.2 million. Now, you might be wondering, why does a coin from 1971 command such a high price? Well, let's break that down. In 2019, a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar in MS68 was sold at auction for an incredible $1.2 million. This sale was a landmark event in the world of coin collecting, as it was the first time a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar had reached such astronomical heights. The buyer, a high-profile collector, understood the rarity and potential of this coin. Remember, it's not just about the year, it's the condition and rarity that make coins like this one so valuable. The 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar is one of the last coins to be minted in large quantities before the rise of modern coin production techniques, making examples in high-grade conditions incredibly rare. But don't be fooled, not every 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar will be worth this much. It's important to note that the value of these coins depends on their condition, rarity, and demand in the marketplace. Scene transitions to a close-up shot of the host showing different grades of coins and using a magnifying glass. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare, high-value coins in your collection? Here's what to look for. As we've discussed, the grade is critical. Look for coins that show no signs of wear or damage. The more perfect the coin, the higher its value. A well-preserved coin will have a shiny, reflective surface. If the coin looks dull or has signs of wear, it will be worth significantly less. Always check the mint mark. A clear, sharp D means it was minted in Denver. The finer the detail, the better the grade and value. If you think you found a rare 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded by a reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They'll help you determine the coin's true value. There you have it, the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. A coin with rich history, incredible value, and the potential to change the course of your collection. Whether you're just starting or have been collecting for years, remember, condition, rarity, and timing are everything in the world of numismatics. If you have any questions or if you found a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar yourself, drop a comment below. And, as always, keep on collecting.